Hey, hi there. Have you ever wondered how to be more rational? No, you don't need to be a math wizard or solve the Rubik's Cube in 30 seconds to be rational. If you are interested in thinking well and making good decisions, you are in the right place. Today, we begin a series of 4 episodes on the 12 virtues of rationality as formulated by Eliezer Yudkowsky, who is this nice guy who has done us the enormous favor of dedicating his life to the study of rationality. Are you curious? Good for you, because according to Yudkowsky, the first virtue of rationality is curiosity. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Luca and this is School of Thinking, the channel where you can find ideas, tools and concepts to learn how to think better. The first virtue is curiosity. Exercising curiosity means expanding your vision of the world and increasing the amount of data you can use to update and refine your beliefs. The first important aspect of this virtue is the idea of selective curiosity. If you are curious, you are probably interested in many topics, but you will have noticed that some of them have not led you anywhere. So, in order not to waste our time, it makes sense to devote our attention only to some of the things that intrigue us, neglecting the rest. The second important aspect of curiosity, as defined by Yudkowsky, lies in its updating of the idea of I know that I don't know. An open-minded person can admit their ignorance, but this can lead to 2 very different attitudes. The first is the positive increase in curiosity and openness to new answers. The second is an excess of intellectual humility that leads to withdrawing and not expressing any opinion. So it's okay to know that you don't know, but be careful not to use this principle in order to justify an intellectually passive attitude. A third aspect concerns the ability to recognize, at the same time, both our skills and our ignorance. It is true that humility is a common value across our culture. Nevertheless, it is also true that skills and competence in such a subject are not distributed uniformly in the population. So, if you are an expert on a given topic, it is intellectually honest to admit it. The second virtue is relinquishment. This virtue refers to the ability to renounce erroneous belief and not let them dominate our path to accuracy. In order to do this, it is necessary to put the truth on the highest rung of our scale of values. We must remember, however, that the truth is an ideal value towards which to strive, but that we will never be sure of having reached. For example, let's say we get rejected after a job interview. Our reaction could be to generalize and think, I'm a failure, I will never achieve anything in my life. This belief is fraught with errors and is deeply irrational. By practicing the virtue of relinquishment, we can analyze it, realize how wrong it is, and tell ourselves, I commit myself to lessen my negative emotional reactions to such irrational beliefs. And this can also be valid in some other contexts. For example, if we find that our political ideas are based on erroneous belief, we must commit ourselves to leaving them behind. Or, if we realize that our work will never lead us to reach our goals, we must have the courage to change it. The third virtue is lightness. This virtue is kind of a complement to the previous one. It teaches us how to give up our old ideas once new truths that could disavow them emerge. We have to be ready to answer lightly and say, okay, I believed in something completely false. Now I can drop it and start believing in something more accurate. In order to do this, it is necessary to be aware of our resistances. It is required to know how to loosen them and to have the ability to expose oneself and be vulnerable to the truth. It is exactly when we realize that we are believing in something only out of inertia, out of habit, or out of fear of letting go, that we should work harder to analyze it and eventually get rid of it. Let's take an example. We have always had a certain political idea, and we have built a good part of our life around it. Our acquaintances, our readings, our clothing, and therefore, a large part of our identity. One day, however, we start, by pure chance, to follow the post of a very rational political commentator who does not think like us. Part of our mind finds it convincing, but our past beliefs make us resist new ideas. But if we realize that the only reason we don't change our mind is because of such resistance, we are ready to become lighter, and we can take advantage of this new awareness to open ourselves to new ideas. Alright. These were the first 3 virtues of rationality, according to Yudkowsky. Tell us in the comments which of these virtues you found most interesting. In the next part of the series, We will talk about the fourth, fifth and sixth virtues.